Welcome back to Sports Talk. Mike Sola, a man of many titles. He's the head athletic trainer at Valley College. He's also the host of KVCR Channel TV 24, Sports Beat. He also writes a column, Fit Family, in the Sun newspaper every week. Mike, I mean, my gosh, you've got so many things going on. How do you have time to end up on my show?
Well, my agent said it'd be a good idea to try to get some extra exposure. But Bill, by the way, I want to congratulate you. I think it's great to see you have this show, and it's great for the community, and I know you're doing a terrific job. That's what everybody tells me, so I'm glad to be here. Well,
there's no competition. I think it's great that you've got your show on KVCR Channel 24. We've got Sports Talk on this, and I was just wanting to have you over here to talk about all the different things that you're involved in. You have Glenn Braggs, of course, with the Cincinnati Reds.
We're very fortunate to get a hold of Glenn. He just happened to be in town, and he's just a terrific young man to talk to. And I've been taking care of Glenn in the training room since he was about this small. And he's now, of course, going on to the great success with the Cincinnati Reds. And he was just super. I mean, we were very fortunate to have him, and I'm very happy for him for his success.
Now, that show's going to be on Monday night on Channel 24, correct?
Monday night, is that on? 7:30 p.m. We compete a little bit with Monday Night Football, but there's a couple of Eastern teams, Houston and Buffalo. Nobody cares about that.
No big deal. You've also got some other people on the show that help you out that are known in the community. Jim Loughran.
Jim Loughran is going to be the fan, the average fan. I mean, I don't know if you can call him that, but he is your average super fan. And Nick Leva is going to talk about prep sports. This area has been so successful this year in football, right, with our success of Eisenhower, Fontana, just to name a couple of teams. And he's going to talk a little bit about that game, the matchup that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Now, when you're talking about prep sports, you're also on Sunday mornings on K-Men on 1290 with Carl Gayton.
Yeah.
On Prep Talk.
On Prep Talk.
What do you do on that?
Well, we give a little insight, number one, on athletic injuries, kind of educate the public, educate especially the kids that are at the Pop Warner Junior All-American level, especially now that we're in football season. And we do something interesting. We go over the injuries that take place in the NFL, evaluate them, and kind of give a little bit of an outlook as to the results as compared to the progress that these people are having as far as their injuries. And it's very interesting, the correlation between injured teams and winning percentages.
Now, we've had Carl Gayton on the show. Matter of fact, he was one of my first guests when we started Sports Talk. Steve Verissimo's been on a couple times, and I know he's been done a great job of promoting local community sports on K-Men.
It's something that is really needed. We're such a growing community. We had the number 1 and number 2 teams in the CIF in football, and yet we didn't have, there was not enough, there wasn't any broadcast of any games until recently, and that's just, I'm really happy that Mr. Verissimo has done a great job in helping promote prep, prep sports in this area, which is needed.
Let's talk about Sports Beat for a second.
We have to?
We will, because I think we have some video footage of how easy and flow, how a show flows so well. I'd like to go to that videotape of yourself, Mike Sola, on Sports Beat to show just exactly how it flows so nicely.
It's so easy.
Here it is.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Don't say anything. Thank you, Glenn. Coming up next, Nick Leva of the San Bernardino Sun with a local Prep 4 football update. We'll be right back. And I screwed up again. Would you like for me to do it? Why don't you let him do it? Hi, join us on Sports Beat as we're going to pay tribute to Rich Dower, and we head into the 90s with soccer and golf. Go 4. The proceeds from this tournament go to the San Bernardino. Stay tuned for this edition of Sports Beat, where we'll be covering Cajon High School tennis and our preview edition of basketball, so stay tuned. But before we do that, we want to take this time to recognize some of the people who said some I did it again, people. So let's go over to cowboy country and find out what these tennis players are all about. So saddle up and come on down and play a little bit of a round of tennis, boys. You hear? Final thought about Jimmy Loughran. He was a runner-up when he was playing at Aquinas High School for the best... Okay, here we go. One final thought on Jimmy Loughran. He finished runner-up for the Ken Hubbs Award, which is given to the outstanding athlete in San Bernardino County while he was at Aquinas High School. The winner, Mark Collins of Pacific High School, and who then went on 2. Time out. I don't know that guy, but you wonder why I grew a mustache, just so I could disguise myself, because, I mean, I just cannot take credit for that. My producer, Al Gondos, is the guy who gets half the credit.
You know, it's amazing. I thought we were going to see something that flowed real nice. I mean, I've never made a mistake like that, Mike, on this show. I mean, do you have those problems all the time?
No, not at all. As long as there's not a camera in front of me, I'm just fine.
Are you?
Yeah, but it's fun, you know. We'll be doing a show and we'll be doing a segment. All of a sudden, Al will stop me and say, "Wait a minute, let's try this. This is funnier." And then he gets me going, and before you know it, we change the format, and then that's how we wind up with those. That's just simple little mistakes. It happens to anybody, but you never make them.
Seriously, we make a lot of mistakes over here, but they're not as funny as Mike Sola's. I thought some of those things there with the basketball and the golf and everything like that. You're very creative, Mike, and you have been since I've known you.
Well, Bill, it's just since I was a little kid, I've been watching television. I've been thrilled by watching all these sports comedy shows, because sports they lend themselves to so much comedy because there's so much failure involved. And you sit there and you watch these shows and you go, well, I could have done it better, and I could have done this better. And television allows me a chance to really, you know, almost bring out this fantasy and be able to create something that's not your average, just dull, hello everybody, how are you, show, and you're able to, you know, laugh about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it a second, because I remember a time, like I said, you're very creative, you're very funny. You also do impersonations. I remember at a Spirit game where the Be a Star contest on Friday nights, you got on the dugout to win it, and you did a impersonation of Mr. Ed.
I can't believe to this day that you actually talked me into that. You know, everything was fine until I got up there and realized it was a sellout. And there's 4,000 people staring at me. I have a microphone. I got to get up there and go, "Hello, Wilbur. How are you doing, old boy?" And
but you did it bilingually.
Yeah. Hola, Wilbur. ¿Cómo está? You know, and everybody just went bonkers. They were either booing me or they're trying to kill me, or they were laughing so hard they just want to get rid of me. But I only did it for you, Bill, because you're a good friend.
I want to tell you, I really want to thank you, because on those bloopers,
Sure.
you had me playing golf. I think you had me swinging, and you were nice enough not to put that on there.
Yeah, I know. It was quite a shot. You teed off and it went 14.5 feet. You know, I guess you just must have taken your eye off the ball for a little while. But I'm not much better. I hit it about 16, so. But it's a pleasure being here, Bill. I appreciate you bringing me
in our last 30 seconds, okay, I'd like to say that, you know, you've been a tremendous asset to our community. I think Sports Beat on KVCR is a tremendous sports show, and having guys like Glenn Braggs, who were born and raised here, playing for the Cincinnati Reds, to get them on, I just think it's great, and I want to say thank you. And that show is on when again?
So it'll be on Monday at 7:30 p.m. and Monday the 26th. And Bill, I'm not going to let you out of this without you promising you're going to be on my show in the next coming shows.
You got it. Mike Sola, the man of many talents and job titles. We'll be back right after this.